New tonight, a Gentry student born with a hearing impairment decided to write a book about her experience. Now, from the start, her goal is to help others in her same situation. 5 News reporter Parker Abels met with her and her family to see how she continues to inspire others.
Rachel Leonard recently became the Princess of America Teen Heartland after winning a pageant in February. But before that, she had a long journey dealing with hearing loss.
I was born with hearing loss in my left ear, and I didn't get my hearing aids until I was 7 years old.
Rachel is now 14 years old and decided she wanted to make a difference for kids in the same situation as her. So she decided to write a book called The Color of Sound.
My book is basically about what it's like before you get your hearing aids, and for me, I was missing out on so many things. I couldn't hear my mom whispering goodnight to me, or the leaves outside.
This book was published last month and is already making an impact on children.
So I'm really sad to I actually went to the intermediate school, and there was a little girl, and she had hearing aids, and she was like, "Oh, I didn't know other people have hearing aids." So my book is really to just let other people know that you're not the only one.
Her grandmother Helen Burks will never forget the day Rachel got her hearing aids.
She laughed, and she was running, and she stopped. Sorry. She turned around and she says, "Mama, I can hear my footsteps. I can hear the birds sing." And to see that was amazing.
There are over 36 million children in the U.S. dealing with hearing loss. Rachel wants every one of them to know they aren't alone and to get to an audiologist as soon as possible.
I just feel that everyone with hearing loss, their world is definitely gray before they get their hearing aids, and they're just missing out on so much. So I really just hope that if you're struggling with hearing loss, go get it checked out.
And her family is so proud of how far she's come and what she continues to accomplish along the way.
Very proud, very proud. If she's going to do it, she's going to do it right. I know Rachel said one time, it's one thing to know you're helping people, but to actually hear that you're helping people, she said, it makes me feel very humble.
In Gentry, covering news where you live, Parker Abels, 5 News.
The Color of Sound is now available for purchase on Amazon, and they tell us she already has sold so many copies. Rachel is still making her way around local schools to read her book and leave a lasting impact. The 13th annual Arkansas Run for the Fallen took place this weekend. The annual event is a 3-day, 155-mile run in honor of those who lost their lives while serving on active duty. It started on Friday in Ozark and takes runners all the way to Little Rock, where it wrapped up today. Each mile of the run is dedicated to a fallen service member, with markers along the way honoring their life in service. There are new numbers out tonight showing how much Americans are paying at the grocery store compared to this time last year. Poultry, pork, and milk saw an average price decline from January to February, but the cost of other pantry staples like cereals, baked goods, and seafood increased. That's according to the Food at Home Index, which rose nearly 2% over the last 12 months. The report is a key measure of inflation based on food consumed at home.
Every year they're rising about 2%, which is pretty close to the overall rate of inflation. We're all should buckle in here and expect food prices to continue to rise at a healthy pace.
The report also found egg prices are nearly 59% higher than they were this time last year. The cost of beef is up more than 7.5% since February 2024. Food banks say they are concerned about the impact of the cuts the White House is making to the federal budget will have on their mission. Emery Bryan has the details on how one Eastern Oklahoma food bank is planning to meet the needs of their community.
The Food Bank of Eastern Oklahoma has plenty of local support, everything from the volunteers who package up produce to the school students who collect canned goods to donate. But the food bank also relies on the USDA to provide both funding and commodities to decrease hunger.
Right now, I think what we're seeing is concerning, but not an emergency. But if all the cuts that are being talked about actually happen, it's going to be an emergency level event.
Bernard estimates Oklahoma will lose $25 million from the USDA cuts already announced. And prior, that helped the school district buy ground beef from a local producer, supporting both farmers and schools feeding students.
So that was money that was flowing directly to food banks and to schools to purchase from local farmers meat, eggs, and produce.
The USDA supports a network that meets some of the need for 1 in 3 Oklahomans. Hunger Free Oklahoma estimates 420,000 students get free or reduced lunch at school, and 600,000 Oklahomans receive SNAP benefits. SNAP is the largest USDA food assistance program, and cuts to that are also possible.
Our state relies on SNAP. SNAP brings in more than $1 billion a year to help hungry folks. If you see big cuts there, that is a recipe for disaster.
That was Emery Bryan reporting. National Security Advisor Mike Waltz and Second Lady Yusha Vance are heading to Greenland this week for the White House. The White House delegation is set to visit historical sites and attend the country's national dog sled race. President Trump has said he wants the United States to take control of the country, citing strategic and national security purposes. Greenland is currently an autonomous territory owned by Denmark.